Okay, so get this.
Mm-hmm.
Some people
Yeah.
actually believe that the Statue of Liberty was stolen
Wow.
from Egypt. Like a straight-up heist.
Interesting.
We're talking about conspiracy theories today, and you have sent us some real doozies.
Well, what's interesting is how these theories kind of prey on our sense of wonder, right?
Yeah.
But, we have AI now.
Right.
And it's this incredible tool that can sift through mountains of data and analyze historical records and compare architectural styles.
So, about Lady Liberty.
Yeah.
Turns out
Okay.
she was a gift from France,
Uh-huh.
inspired by Egyptian themes,
Okay.
but definitely not stolen.
Interesting.
AI traced her origins through like blueprints and letters and even political cartoons from the 1880s.
Wow.
No pharaohs were robbed in the making of this monument.
That's pretty amazing how AI can just debunk these myths.
Yeah.
But here's where it gets really cool, right?
Okay.
Some people actually think that Walt Disney
Oh, yeah.
is cryogenically frozen, just waiting to be reanimated in the future.
Right.
AI can scan medical records and,
Yep.
well, let's just say
Okay.
there's no Sleeping Beauty situation happening here.
Talk about a shattered childhood dream.
Right.
But speaking of dreams,
Yeah.
have you heard the one about Atlantis being buried under Antarctica?
Oh, yeah, I've heard about that.
A lost city frozen in time.
Right.
Sounds epic, right?
It does sound epic, but unfortunately not true.
Right.
AI-powered geological surveys and radar scans of Antarctica reveal no trace of hidden cities.
Really?
What they do reveal is a very complex ecosystem of ice sheets and subglacial lakes.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Amazing what science can uncover.
Absolutely.
But on a slightly more unnerving note,
Mm-hmm.
some folks believe in this adrenochrome conspiracy.
Okay.
Supposedly, it's an anti-aging elixir harvested from.
Right.
Well, let's just say it's a very dark theory.
Very dark and very dangerous.
Yeah.
This is where the power of AI to debunk myths takes on a new urgency. It can analyze pharmacological studies and chemical compositions, and it proves that adrenochrome has no such properties.
It's so important to separate fact from fiction, especially when a theory can cause real-world harm.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, now for a classic,
Okay.
aliens built the pyramids, right?
Wow, the pyramids.
I mean, those structures are mind-blowing.
They are absolutely mind-blowing.
Yeah.
But AI analysis of ancient construction techniques reveals the brilliance of human engineering.
Really?
Think ramps, pulleys, and a whole lot of manpower.
Mm.
No spaceships required.
Wow, human ingenuity take a bow.
I know, it's pretty amazing.
But let's not forget about HAARP.
Oh, HAARP.
This research facility in Alaska
Yeah.
gets blamed for triggering earthquakes, controlling the weather,
Oh, right.
you name it.
Yeah, it's almost comical
Right.
how much power people ascribe to HAARP.
Yeah.
But AI can analyze seismic and atmospheric data,
Okay.
showing zero correlation between HAARP and these events. In reality, HAARP studies the ionosphere,
Right.
which is a completely different beast.
So no need to fear a government-controlled apocalypse via radio waves.
No.
That's a relief.
Right.
But back to those sneaky government plots.
Okay.
Some folks claim that they're hiding giant human skeletons.
Oh, wow.
Is this Bigfoot's cousin we're talking about here?
If only, right.
Yeah.
AI can analyze skeletal structures
Mm-hmm.
and compare them to archaeological records.
Okay.
What it finds are misidentified fossils and, sadly, a lot of hoaxes.
Oh.
No giant skeletons lurking in government vaults, I'm afraid.
Well, there goes another childhood myth.
Yeah.
But speaking of myths,
Mhm.
we can't forget about birds aren't real.
Oh, right.
I mean, who hasn't looked at a pigeon and thought, that's a government drone in disguise?
I know, right?
Right.
This one is definitely more tongue-in-cheek,
Yeah.
but it still highlights our tendency to distrust,
Yeah.
AI can, however, analyze DNA sequences and avian physiology to confirm that, yes, birds are in fact real, feathered creatures.
Feathers, wings, birdsong.
Yeah.
Nature is pretty awesome, even without government conspiracies.
For sure.
Now let's talk about something that's become a modern-day boogeyman.
Okay.
5G.
Oh, 5G.
Some people claim it can control minds,
Right.
cause diseases, the works.
It's incredible how quickly fear can spread, right?
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to technology we don't fully understand.
Right.
But AI can simulate electromagnetic waves and analyze medical data.
Mm-hmm.
The verdict:
What?
5G operates within safe frequencies
Okay.
and has no proven link to any harmful effects.
So you can keep using your smartphones without worrying about turning into a government-controlled zombie.
Exactly.
Oh.
Huh.
Okay, before we move on, one last head-scratcher.
Okay.
Some believe that the Vatican holds proof of Jesus having descendants,
Interesting.
secret archives, ancient documents.
Right.
It's all very Da Vinci Code.
Right. It definitely has that air of mystery.
Yeah.
But AI-powered textual analysis of biblical and historical records
Uh-huh.
hasn't found anything to corroborate this theory.
No hidden bloodlines or secret societies.
Not that we know of.
Oh, that's a bummer.
Yeah,
But hey, there are still plenty of mysteries left in the world.
that's true.
Maybe that's a good thing, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's this sense of wonder that drives us to explore, to question, and ultimately to learn. And AI is becoming an incredible tool in that journey.
It's like having a superpower for truth-seeking, sifting through the noise to find the signal.
I like that.
But speaking of truth,
Yeah.
how do we know what to believe in a world saturated with information?
That's a great question.
That's something we'll explore in the next part of our deep dive.
Looking forward to it.
Stay tuned.
Yeah, that's the challenge, isn't it?
Right.
We're just bombarded with information from all sides.
It's like trying to drink from a fire hose.
It really is.
So how do we develop that, spidey sense for truth? How do we avoid falling down these conspiracy theory rabbit holes?
Well, think of AI as a kind of mental filter.
Okay.
It can help us analyze information, identify patterns,
Uh-huh.
and separate fact from fiction.
Right.
But it's not just about the technology.
Right.
We need to cultivate our own critical thinking skills, too.
So it's like a partnership, AI and our own brains working together.
Exactly.
But where do we even begin?
Start by questioning everything.
Okay.
Don't just blindly accept what you see or hear.
Mm-hmm.
Ask yourself, who's saying this? Why are they saying it?
Right.
What's their agenda?
So a healthy dose of skepticism is key.
Yes, absolutely.
But sometimes, even with our skeptical hats on,
Yeah.
those conspiracy theories can be pretty seductive.
Oh, they are.
They tap into our desire for, hidden knowledge.
Right.
For something beyond the ordinary.
It's that thrill of uncovering a secret, right?
Yeah.
Feeling like you're in the know.
Yeah, exactly.
But here's the thing.
Okay.
The truth is often far more fascinating than any conspiracy theory.
I'm intrigued. Give me an example.
Think about the human genome.
Okay.
AI is helping us unlock its secrets, revealing this incredible complexity of life itself.
Right.
That's a far more mind-blowing discovery than, say, the idea that lizard people are running the government.
You've got a point there.
Right.
Real-world science often outdoes even the wildest conspiracy theories.
It really does.
But let's be honest, sometimes those theories can be pretty entertaining.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
And they can spark curiosity,
Yeah.
which is a good thing.
Right.
But it's important to channel that curiosity in a productive way.
Okay.
Instead of getting lost in speculation, use it as a springboard for learning.
So turn that conspiracy theory into a research project.
Exactly.
I like it.
Yeah.
But what about those times when we come across information that challenges our beliefs?
Yeah.
That can be tough to swallow.
It can be really tough.
Yeah.
But it's also an opportunity for growth.
Okay.
Instead of shutting down or digging in our heels, try to approach it with curiosity.
Okay.
Ask yourself, what if this is true? What evidence supports this claim? What evidence contradicts it?
So basically turn it into a mental debate.
Yes.
Play devil's advocate with yourself.
Exactly.
And who knows, you might even change your mind.
You never know.
Or you might solidify your existing beliefs, but with a deeper understanding of the opposing viewpoint.
Exactly.
It's all about that journey of discovery, right?
It really is.
And AI can be a valuable companion on that journey.
Absolutely.
Helping us navigate the complexities of information.
For sure.
But in a world that's becoming increasingly polarized, how do we even have these conversations with people who hold drastically different views?
That's a crucial question.
Yeah.
And it's where things get tricky.
Right.
It's so easy to fall into the trap of us versus them thinking,
Yeah.
especially online.
Yeah, for sure.
But if we want to bridge those divides, we need to find ways to connect on a human level.
Okay, so how do we do that? How do we have those tough conversations without resorting to shouting matches or name calling?
Start by listening.
Okay.
Really listening. Try to understand where the other person is coming from,
Okay.
even if you disagree with them.
Right.
Ask questions to clarify their perspective.
Okay.
And avoid making assumptions about their motives or intelligence.
So empathy and respect are key.
Yes, absolutely.
But let's be real. Sometimes those conversations can be incredibly frustrating.
They can be.
Especially when you feel like you're talking past each other.
Absolutely.
Right.
And it's okay to walk away.
Okay.
If the conversation becomes unproductive or disrespectful.
Right.
You don't have to engage in every debate.
Mm.
But when you do choose to engage,
Yeah.
try to do so with an open mind and a willingness to learn.
Okay.
You might be surprised by what you discover.
It's like that saying, you catch more flies with honey than with vinegar.
Exactly.
Right.
And who knows, you might even plant a seed of doubt in the other person's mind. Right.
Or they might plant a seed in yours.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of open dialogue.
Mm.
It allows for the possibility of change and growth.
So we've talked about questioning information,
Right.
embracing curiosity,
Right.
and engaging in respectful dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
What other tools can we add to our truth-seeking toolkit?
One that's often overlooked is the power of silence in our fast-paced, information-saturated world.
Yeah.
It's easy to get swept up in the current.
Right.
But taking time to pause, to reflect,
Okay.
to simply be present with our own thoughts and feelings
Yeah.
can be incredibly grounding.
It's like hitting the reset button on our brains.
Exactly. It allows us to step back from the noise and reconnect with our own inner wisdom. And from that place of groundedness,
Okay.
we can approach information with more clarity and discernment.
So amidst all the chaos and conflicting information, we need to find those moments of stillness.
Yes.
Those spaces where we can reconnect with ourselves and our own values. Precisely.
Right.
And from that place of centeredness,
Okay.
we can engage with the world in a more thoughtful and compassionate way, even when faced with challenging ideas or beliefs.
It's like building a mental fortress.
Yes.
A place where we can retreat when the information overload gets to be too much.
A fortress of critical thinking, curiosity, and compassion. And with that fortress as our foundation, we can venture out into the world, exploring new ideas, challenging old assumptions, and ultimately building a more informed and understanding society.
You know, it's striking me that a lot of these conspiracy theories seem to stem from a distrust of authority.
Right.
People feel like they're not getting the whole story from the powers that be.
You've hit on a key point.
Yeah.
That sense of distrust is real.
Right.
And it often comes from a legitimate place. We've seen instances where governments and institutions have misled the public or acted in their own self-interest.
So it's not surprising that some people are skeptical of official narrative.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that skepticism in itself can be a good thing.
Right.
It encourages us to question authority and hold those in power accountable. But it's important to channel that skepticism in a constructive way.
Meaning, don't just blindly accept any alternative explanation that comes along.
Right.
Okay.
Just because you distrust one narrative doesn't mean you should automatically embrace the opposite.
Right.
It's important to apply the same critical thinking skills to all information, regardless of where it comes from.
So in a nutshell, be skeptical, be curious, and be willing to be wrong.
That's a great way to sum it up.
Right?
And don't forget to have a little fun along the way.
Yeah.
Debunking conspiracy theories can be a fascinating journey into the human psyche.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
It's like solving a puzzle, piecing together the truth from a jumble of misinformation.
Exactly.
And sometimes the truth is even stranger than fiction.
It really is.
All right, so we've been talking about how AI can help us sift through all the noise and misinformation out there.
Yeah.
But it's not just about debunking these wild theories, right? It's about understanding how we think, how we form beliefs, and why these conspiracy theories are so appealing in the first place.
It's like we're all wired for stories, you know?
Yeah.
For narratives that help us make sense of the world. And sometimes those narratives, even if they're outlandish, can be more comforting than facing the complexities of reality.
It's like choosing a comfortable lie over an unsettling truth.
Exactly.
But the problem is, those comfortable lies can lead us down some pretty dangerous paths.
They can, yeah. And that's where critical thinking comes in.
Okay.
It's about training our minds to question, to evaluate evidence, and to be open to the possibility that we might be wrong.
So it's about being curious but cautious.
Skeptical but open-minded.
Yes.
It's a balancing act for sure.
It is, but it's a skill worth developing.
Yeah.
Because in this age of information overload,
Right.
the ability to think critically is more important than ever.
Absolutely.
It's not just about protecting ourselves from misinformation. It's about empowering ourselves to make informed decisions in all aspects of our lives.
So it's not just about debunking conspiracy theories.
Right.
It's about becoming more discerning consumers of information.
Exactly.
In general.
Whether we're reading news articles, scrolling through social media, or even just chatting with friends,
right,
we need to be aware of the potential for bias, misinformation, and manipulation.
It's like we need to develop a mental filter.
Yeah.
A way to sift through the noise and identify the signal.
And AI can be a powerful tool in that process.
Okay.
It can help us identify patterns, analyze data, and cross-reference information from multiple sources.
So it's like having a research assistant at our fingertips? It is.
But ultimately, the responsibility for critical thinking lies with each of us.
Absolutely.
Right.
AI can assist us, but it can't replace our own judgment, our own ability to reason and weigh evidence.
It's like having a GPS for the mind. It can guide us, but we still need to know where we want to go.
Exactly. And that destination, that goal we're striving for, should be a world where truth matters, where evidence is valued, and where we engage with each other with respect and open-mindedness, even when we disagree.
Well said.
Thank you.
And remember, it's okay to be wrong.
Oh, absolutely.
In fact, being willing to admit when we're wrong is one of the most powerful tools we have for learning and growing.
So true.
Right.
So to all our listeners out there, we encourage you to keep exploring.
Keep questioning.
Keep searching for the truth, wherever it may lead you.
And remember, AI can be a helpful guide along the way. But ultimately, the power to discern fact from fiction lies within each of us.
It does.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of conspiracy theories.
Absolutely.
Till next time, stay curious, stay skeptical, and keep those brains buzzing.
I love it.